Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Clackmannanshire in Scotland. And I hope I'm saying that right. I think it really just depends where in Scotland or the UK you're from, because I've heard that Scottish people will say shire instead of sheer, but I've also heard Clackmannanshire. I'm just gonna go with Clackmannanshire. I think that's as close as I can get to how it's actually pronounced, but let me know if I'm completely wrong. I will absolutely just accept that I can't pronounce it. But Clackmannanshire is the smallest county in Scotland by size and population. It's located along the shores of the River Forth, which flows out into the Firth of Forth, which we talked about last week when we talked about city of Edinburgh. The largest little town here, the largest town is Alloa, right here. But Clackmannan is right here, not too far off. That used to be the capital once upon a time. Once Alloa got really big, it became the main center of the county. Its official slogan is "Look About Ye," which is a quote from Robert the Bruce, because there's a lot of legends in this little wee county here. And Robert the Bruce is involved in some of them. But if we go through history, there was, of course, a very large Celtic presence in this area. It's believed that in this vicinity, in the year 844, the King of Scots, Kenneth MacAlpin, defeated the Picts, because opening the door for Scottish dominance in what's today Scotland over the Picts. But yeah, Robert the Bruce, another king of Scotland during a very important part of Scotland's history, which it's kind of a bummer we're talking about this and not this, because Stirling's right there, and Stirling Castle's right there, and Stirling Bridge and all of that. So much of Scotland's history, the important moments happened just outside of the area we're talking about, and it's very fortunate because I want to show you stuff over here, but not today. We're over here. But it involves Robert the Bruce and William Wallace and all that. But Robert the Bruce left his glove on a rock here, according to the legend. A glove being Clack, and the stone being the stone of Mannan, which is apparently a Celtic deity, and hence the name Clackmannanshire, glove on the rock shire. Or so goes the legend. It's alleged that's where the name came from of this area. Also in Clackmannan, a toll booth was built in 1592, which is important because that building still exists, and it just came up in every history that I read. So there was the toll booth built there. Also interesting, over in Alloa, in between 1634 and 1662, 13 people were accused of witchcraft. They were burned at the stake and everything. A little witch hunt here in Scotland. But this county is mainly known for its industries. It became well known for its textiles, mainly wool from the sheep. There's also a bit of coal mining, but the biggest industry that it's known for is brewing and coopering, which is making the barrels that the ale, beer, etc. go into. And is still very much known for that today. There's still lots of breweries here. And that's pretty much it for history. There's not much else to say. Like I said, a lot has happened outside of this area. Stirling's right there. Edinburgh is right there. If you want more history, I'd link my Edinburgh video up there. I was going to say link the Scotland playlist, but I don't have a Scotland playlist. I have a UK playlist. And I do that because, like, I just did the Channel Islands. I did Bermuda. Like, there's places in the UK that aren't in Scotland, England, Wales, or Northern Ireland. So I just made a big UK playlist and put everything in it. So there's no Scotland playlist, unfortunately. So yeah, you can watch the Edinburgh video I did last week if you want more Scotland history. But that is about it. There's not much to see on Google Earth, but it is still pretty cute. So we will explore Clackmannanshire on Google Earth. Let's go. Here we are in Clackmannanshire. But let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Scotland's very easy to find on a map, on a political map or a geographical map, because you can see the Highlands up here, very prominent, all the islands there. Of course, Scotland's part of the United Kingdom, which is located, or at least Scotland is located on the island of Great Britain within the United Kingdom. And it's up here in this western corner of Europe. Very, very easy to find on a map, any map, world map at least. So let's start over here in Alloa. Make sure the everything filter is on. See, it's not. Gotta make sure we can find everything. Here's Alloa Tower. Definitely the most historic building in Alloa. And it's a neat little museum. I watched a museum tour of it. It's pretty cool, considering it's just a little tower in a little town with barely any history. It's got some neat stuff in here. And of course you have views of the town. You have this. I'm not sure what it is, but it's pretty neat. Lots of stone. Some cool medieval garb there. And this old tower. I mean, it's not hard to find an old tower in Scotland. They're kind of everywhere, but they all have their own character. There's the River Forth. Oops, we can't go too far. Is this whole island part of Clackmannanshire? It sure is. Yes. Let's see the ship's graveyard. Well, that's not a ship. There's the ship graveyard. Oh, there's another one right there. I wouldn't call that a ship. That looks more like a boat to me. Look at this little Father Ted house. I know Father Ted was Irish, but doesn't it look like Father Ted? Ew, okay, that is definitely a graveyard for boats, isn't it? The little cottage there. Oh, how pretty. With all the rotted ships in the forefront. That beautiful sunset. If you do want Irish, though, our next video is going to be in Ireland, so just hang tight. We're definitely going to see some very, very Irish things in the next video. Very excited for it because it's on my bucket list. One of my bucket list places. But yeah, this is Alloa. Very tiny little town. Of course, they have a golf course because it's Scotland. And there's one right there too. So you have your choice of which golf course you want to play on. Here's Clackmannan. Clackmannan Towers over here. Beautiful, isn't it? Welcome to Clackmannan Tower. I'm sure this has all of its own legends associated with it as well. Oh, this is the, we'll look at this in a second. Actually, we'll just look at it now. But look at this. That's really pretty with all the snow. That is the toll booth and the stone of Mannan. You can see here, put on top of this big stone here. This is the sacred, allegedly sacred stone from Celtic times, and I assume allegedly the stone that Robert the Bruce left his glove on. There's the toll booth. It doesn't have a slideshow for some reason, but there it is. I think it's so significant because it was like the first major infrastructure other than just like houses and probably farms and maybe a church, you know, the essentials. But it's an important building in the history of the town. What's this side of Westfield Village? Oh, old village there. There's the old quarries. and the old shafts. The other major town, right, is called Dollar. Nothing to do with like the currency dollar, but Dollar nonetheless. I really didn't find anything to look at in Dollar, although Dollar Academy, Dollar Cherry, what's Dollar Cherry Blossom? Oh, pretty. Never mind when I said there's nothing to see here. They've got pretty cherry blossoms. There's always something to see everywhere you go. Don't listen to me. Don't feel, oh, there's nothing there. There's always something there. When I say there's nothing there, that means there's no good pictures on Google Earth. There's always something there. How pretty. The snow on the hillside. But yeah. Dollar Health Center. It sounds like we have dollar stores here in the US. So a dollar store is a place where you can get cheap stuff. So a Dollar Health Center sounds like, yikes. Probably don't want to go there. There were lots of little random, well, obviously little random towers and such in the area. I found a couple. There's Tate's Tomb. There it is. I'm sure there's a story there. Yeah, it's so interesting. Oh, there's the River Devon. There's an old mine by the looks of it. Whoa. Whoa, look at all the equipment left out to rust. Yep, there's always neat things to find. Usually in a little place like this, I'd be like, oh, there's not much to see, but there's lots of little goodies to find. Let's see, Smuggler's Cave. There it is. I wonder what they were smuggling. There's how the glen was formed. I wanted to know what was being smuggled. Probably like maybe weapons or maybe people even. I don't know, but there's a pretty waterfall as well. So nice. Scotland's so pretty. Scotland to me is one of those places that there's no ugly corner of this country. There is no spot in Scotland that's just like, ew, gross. Even like the nasty rotting boats down there had some gorgeous scenery around it. Look up here in the hills here, maybe even mountains. Yeah, it looks like hills and then mountains up there. Old castle homes. It's all so picturesque, isn't it? All so pretty. That guy thinks so too. Wow. Big, gorgeous sky. And sweep up. But yeah. There's surprising, there's a bit to see here. Let's see if we can end it here at the country park. Definitely. Let's end it here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this style of content, please consider subscribing. These swans want you to subscribe if you haven't already. And like I said, next we're heading over that way to Ireland to see some very, very famous places in Ireland. We're going to County Clare, where we're going to see the cliffs of Moher and the Burren. So much to see. The Google Earth segment's probably going to be over half an hour long, to be honest, because it's some of the most beautiful spots in Ireland. So be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. These little goslings telling you to subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'd very much appreciate it. This pup says leave a comment. I hope that, oh cute, I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational, and I hope that you have a good night. See, look, there's the Wallace Monument in Stirling. I want to go over there so bad. I'll probably do that after I end this, and I'll go explore that area on my own. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational, and I hope that you have a good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.